You're probably watching this video because you are pregnant, or you know someone that is pregnant, or you are in the process of getting pregnant. Anyways, I don't know if that sounded right, but if you fall in those categories, then this video is for you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, our son turned 7 months few days back, and
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
yeah, it's just been an amazing journey. Yeah, how time flies, right?
Yeah, 7 months of no sleep.
Seven. I know, right? He's actually sleeping now. But anyways, in today's video, we'll be talking about giving birth in Germany. And this video is really dear to us. It's really dear to me because I have had like expectant moms reach out to me making inquiries, right? And to be honest, I can really relate because I've been there, right? When I was pregnant, I did not have all the information that I needed in just one place. And I wish I had known things earlier before even
Yeah,
giving birth, right? So this video is really dear to me, and we'll pretty much be sharing things that we wish we knew before giving birth, and I mean things we have learned generally giving birth in Germany. And this will be in no particular order. We're going to just dive right in because guys, we have 15 points. I wish we
only
could said only. I wish we could share more. I mean, there's so much to know about giving birth in Germany.
before you go on, this is just to add that this is from our own
Yes,
perspective.
please, guys. This is from a
Yeah,
Nigerian's point of
so
view.
some
So,
points might not apply to everybody watching this, but
exactly,
just take the one
exactly.
that concerns you.
Yes. So, yes, let's dive right in, guys. So, for point one, I wasn't aware that the first person or the first specialist you go to when you found out that you're pregnant is to go and see your gynae. Guys, please don't come for me. In my home country, typically you just go to the hospital and like a general hospital, and then you're I mean attended to, right? So I just felt okay, that was like the right thing to do. I went to see my GP, and unfortunately that day I think she was closed,
Yeah,
right? And I
yes,
had to go to a general hospital here in Germany, and yeah, they referred me to a gynecologist who checked me and found out that I was pregnant. And I was also asked to register at a nearby gynecologist. So
yeah,
the very first thing that I did not really know was to go straight to a gynecologist rather than just going to my GP. And one thing to consider when you are trying to get a gynecologist or when you're trying to register for a gynecologist is that you have to factor in if the person can speak English, right? But if you can speak German, that's fine, right? I had to factor in if the person could speak English. I also had to factor in the location as well because you will be going on frequent visits, right? And yeah, I think at first I started with 4 weeks.
yeah. 4 weeks,
From 4 weeks, he went. No, I think I started from two
2 weeks,
weeks.
then
From 2 weeks, it went to 4 weeks,
4 weeks. Yeah,
and I think when I was in my final trimester, I started going like every week. So you
yeah.
have to factor in the location. Just ensure that your gynae is really close to where you stay. I think once I was done registering, they handed over a motor pass to me, and the motor pass is basically like a pregnancy passport. So it has everything that has to do with you, test for yourself, and also test for baby, scans of baby. It has everything, and you have to take it for every appointment you go for.
Now, the second point is that here in Germany, the doctor who you see in your very first appointment, is not a guarantee that that will be the doctor you want to deliver. So, of course, after you have seen the gynae, you have confirmed that you're pregnant. The next thing is to try to register for the hospital where you want to give birth. Obviously, here in Germany, you can give birth in three different places or three different ways. Either do it in
Yeah,
the hospital, or you do it in the birthing center, or you do it in your house.
yeah, home.
And for we Nigerians, we were more comfortable doing it in hospital, of course. So you have to pick the hospital, you have to reach out to them. Some of them have different periods when you can actually register, depending on your due dates. They ask you for your due dates, and then they tell you, oh, call back in like when you are in your 30th week or whatever. So you have to do that process, register, and then some of them have this thing they call information evening, where you don't need to book an appointment, at least for the ones who went for. You just go for them, and
I
then
think you had to check. when they were
Yeah, yeah. So
available.
on the website, check
Yeah.
when they have it. Most times they have it like once a month or twice a month.
Mm.
So you go for it, and then they tell you people about the process. They might take you around the tour around the hospital. You see the different rooms. For some of our appointment was in German, so it was a bit useless. But at least we saw the rooms. But yeah, you can do that, and then pick one. One fun fact: you can register for as many hospitals as you want, and then pick one later on. So you're not bound by anything when you
Exactly.
register.
You don't
So
have to be in a
yeah,
rush.
so
Yeah.
just call all of them. I mean, in Berlin where we stay, we have like 14 hospitals that you can, go for your delivery. So you can register for maybe two, three, and then over time, you decide one. One more thing I wanted to add was that in when picking the hospital, you have to look out for which one has a neonatal unit. So the neonatal unit is basically the unit in charge of taking care of the newborn immediately after birth. So if let's say, God forbid, but if say after birth your child needs like some attention, you want to be sure that that child can be treated in that same hospital rather than taking the child to a different hospital. So that's one more thing to look out for, just to ensure that you have everything in one place.
So for point three, we weren't aware that it was really hard getting a midwife,
Yeah,
right? But I think in our case, like most people were saying, oh, it was really hard. But in our case, I think we got our midwife in
yeah.
just 1 week.
I think for people whose due date is during the summer, I think it's harder for them because the midwife
Mm,
also go on holiday. But yeah,
yeah.
our case was
Yeah,
straightforward.
it was really different. And I'm just going to list out like the platforms that we used on the screen. But anyways, I think things to consider when we selected our midwife. I
Yeah,
think we liked the fact that our midwife was really young,
yeah.
and though like she was new to the job, but I just felt like safe with her, and I felt like okay, she could take care of me and my baby and give the best advice.
Best 21st century advice.
Another thing that really helped was, I mean, she was a midwife at the hospital we gave birth. I mean, those are the things that we factored in, and
Yeah.
also the language too, because I mean,
Mhm.
she could speak English, so it was really easy to communicate with our midwife as well.
Yeah. Okay, the next point for us, and we didn't know that we needed to start searching for a pediatrician like really early, like even before you give birth. I mean, in our own case, we are a bit lucky because we have like the pediatrician very close to where we stay. But yeah, for those that want to get one, some things we consider is the proximity to where you stay because there will be so many visits, especially after the birth. I think the first 2 or 3 months we visited like I don't know so many times for the normal checks and vaccines
Vaccines,
and
yeah.
yeah. So getting one that is close is important. The next thing is to also consider the language. I mean, in our case, our German is not the best, so it's always a consideration.
It's not.
But if you speak German, then obviously no problem. So we had to look for one where the doctors speak English. Not everyone speaks English, but at least the doctors speak English. And yeah, I think every other thing is like obviously the ones that take public insurance, but that's obvious. I think those were the things we considered before getting one.
So speaking of insurance,
Yeah,
another thing we weren't aware of was a betting class. So here in Germany, they offer like pregnant women and expectant parents, right?
yeah,
A betting class, and it's free. The insurance covers everything, right? And all you have to do is just go to their website. I'll probably link up the website on the screen. So you just go there and you see the available dates, and you can register for I think based on your preference, right? So all we
yeah,
had to do was register, and the betting class is just all about sharing information. It's more like a community, so you see like other pregnant couples,
yeah.
and yeah, the midwife shares like information about how to give birth.
How to wind your
Yeah,
waist.
a lot of
When
TMIs. But anyways, like it's just like a betting class, as the name implies, how to give birth and just how to
how
massage
to
your
know that you are
body.
almost due and
Yeah,
those
like
things.
things
Yeah,
like that. Can you imagine? My husband even remember. I don't even remember anything. But the betting class, I think you have to ensure that your video is on. You have to be present. Like you have to give the midwife the impression that you're present there, right? I remember that we're doing
yeah.
our maternity shoots
Maternity
that
shoot.
day.
Yeah,
It was just it was so stressful. But anyways, the betting class is free and is fully covered by your insurance.
The next thing that we didn't know was how long it took or how long it takes to bring someone down here, like for a visit. I mean, if you're Nigerian, you probably know about Omugo, which is like bringing your wife's mother to take
Or
care of you. Yeah,
any
yeah.
family member
Shall bringing
actually.
someone to shall take care
Yeah.
of like the woman after she gives birth, just before she gives and after she gives birth. So it takes time in Berlin because first you have when inviting someone, you have to send them a document. I can't pronounce the German word, but basically what it means is letter of commitment. Yeah, you can see this young man is active. So what the letter is saying basically is like a commitment letter where you're saying, "Oh, I'm responsible for this person. If the person steals, if the person is not able to take care of themselves, basically you're saying you're responsible for that person. So you have to um, get that letter." So when we were doing ours, the process was a bit different from now. But basically, the process now is you go online and then you fill the form. So basically, you give the information about the person who you want to invite. Then you upload the person's data page, and then you upload yours as well. And then the dates person wants to come, and then you apply. You do this online and you pay as well. You do this online, and then when the document is ready, they will call you. They'll let you know, so you come and pick it up. Set an appointment and pick it up. And then the tricky part is you have to send that document to the person in Nigeria,
Physically.
which for me is a weird requirement because it's unnecessary. So basically, you have to send. You can't scan it. You can't fax it. Whatever. You have to send that particular document that was given the original to the person. You can use DHL, or you could use if you're lucky and you have a friend who's going down to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person can take it down for you.
I mean, which was what we did.
Yeah, we saw someone that
We
was going down.
exactly we were able to get someone, and the person just delivered to my mom.
Yeah, to your mom.
Mhm.
And then obviously, another thing that would help your application is getting a pregnancy certificate. That's pretty easy. So just go to your gynae, let them know that you're processing visa, and they should give you one. They'll write it down, the person's name, the due dates, just basic small things, small documents, and then you can scan that one to the person, and the person can go ahead to do the normal visa application with the documents you sent down and the other documents.
Yeah. Moving on, the next point is we did not know that the hospital will provide most of the things for me and for baby, right? So
Yeah,
I
and none
remember
for me.
obviously you're not giving birth. But anyways, like I actually oh baby boy. I actually ordered a lot. I ordered like pads. I ordered
Yeah,
what else? I ordered a lot for baby, right? In my
yeah,
hospital bag. Like when I was packing my hospital bag, I packed a lot of things, right? In fact, I did not have to wear the clothes that I brought for myself because I was just on what do
yeah.
they call the hospital
I remember
robes.
that. Just an aside, I remember you packing like five different clothes.
Actually,
One for the
guys,
day before, one for the
I packed
day of
robes,
delivery,
like fancy robes and
one for the
everything.
night, one after taking
You
birth.
get, but that was not necessary for
Yeah,
me.
nah.
And then for baby boy too, I had packed like a lot
Yeah,
of things for him because first of all, I wasn't even sure the number of days I was going to stay, but that was not
yeah,
even
true.
needed because the hospital provided clothes, provided diapers. So all I had to do was
Bandages.
just to, I mean, bring myself and my bump to give birth. All I had to do was to pack the take home clothes for my baby, and then for myself, and also take home clothes for myself as well.
Yeah,
And yeah, that was pretty much it. The hospital provided pads, they provided everything that was necessary for during birth and also after giving birth. Yes, another thing, guys, it's very important to carry your baby seat along with you. In fact, it's very
it's
necessary. Is
mandatory.
as in is very very mandatory. So you have to bring your baby seat along. So it's very mandatory. It's mandatory that you bring the car seats when you're about giving birth to your baby. Speaking of which, like we're not even aware
Yeah,
that another point actually, we're not even aware that our spouse, like I was not aware that my spouse could not stay with me after giving birth. Mind you, I'm saying this is based on the hospital I gave birth. So I wasn't aware that my husband could not stay with me after giving birth because this is something that every hospital should do. So prior to when
In
I
Nigeria.
giving
In
prior
Nigeria.
prior to when I we were to give birth, we kept on asking them, making inquiries about their family room,
Yeah.
because I mean in Germany the hospitals have like private rooms, and they also have like, should I say public rooms, like
Yeah,
rooms that,
the public ones.
yeah, shared rooms. Yeah, yeah. We kept on asking and asking, but they kept on saying, okay, they can't confirm yet until I'm in labor. And when, I mean, it was time to give it to our child, we kept on asking too. We're still
Yeah.
asking, and we're saying they will need to check. They will need to check. That's how they will need to check. They will need to check. They rolled me into.
The
I think I
shadow.
was rolled into the shared room, and I mean, it wasn't bad, but then again, the only disadvantage is that your spouse can't stay with you. I remember when my roommate, that's the second mom that
Yeah.
gave birth,
Can you remember
was
her
that
name?
the word? I can't remember her name. But anyways, I think she was to be discharged, and then we just felt like it was an opportunity for you to
Yeah.
stay since the room was empty. But guys, hey.
By 9 or so, the lady came to the room, and I think we didn't even tell her that I was sleeping over. I
Yeah.
was just there trying to form.
Mhm.
I'm
No, I
helping.
think you were there till 11, or you were there past
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
curfew,
yeah, yeah,
and she was like, "What is your husband doing here? He can't be here." And I think at that moment I was just so heartbroken, because I mean I just
yeah.
finished having my season. It was one day after my cesarean,
Yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
it was just really heartbreaking for me.
So we even thought of me hiding in the toilet.
I know, guys, we had different thoughts in our head,
But yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't just allowed. It wasn't allowed. So moving on.
okay. The next thing that we didn't know was that we needed to go to the hospital with our translated documents. So basically,
When you mean hospital, like when we're
for
about giving
delivery,
birth for
yeah, for
delivery.
delivery. So usually, you need to translate your birth certificate, that's the husband and the wife, and your marriage certificate. Some people do this when they are relocating. In our case, we didn't need to do this because I think we spoke at length in our video, in our relocation video, which you can plug somewhere.
You can go back to
But
watch
yeah,
it.
we didn't need to translate the document, so we went for delivery with that document. When we went there, we asked about the birth certificate because in Germany, they offer birth certificates for your baby, and they told us that we needed those documents translated, but we didn't have them there. So they gave us the option of bringing the documents in the hospital while we are still admitted, it will make the process easier because obviously you just go to a room in the hospital and then submit the document and they give you before you leave. But if you don't have those documents, then you need to do it after you've been discharged, in
Yeah.
which case it's a longer process. So that's one thing we didn't know. So if you are getting ready to, you're getting close to your due date, ensure you have those documents translated and take them with you to the hospital. If you are lucky to be in a hospital like ours that
Mm-hmm.
allowed,
Processes
yeah,
it.
because I don't know if all hospitals do that, but in our own case, you can process in the hospital. So yeah, if you are lucky, you can do that. But okay, in our case, I remember they also don't do it during the weekends. That's another thing
Mm-hmm.
to note. So if you are, let's say, you're getting admitted on Thursday and you give birth on Friday, if you don't do that process, you have to wait till Monday. So if you're not, yeah, if you're not with documents, then you have to just go home and do it at home. Now, for the birth certificates, when you process it, they actually give you three certificates. So one is for the Kindergeld. In Germany, every child gets 250 euros every month from the government, and so that process is the child benefit. So the first birth certificate they give you is for that purpose. So you see it written on the paper, so you can't use it for anything else. The second paper they give you is the one for the parental allowance. Now in Germany, the couple has 14 months parental allowance. One couple can take everything, or you and your husband, you and your wife can share the allowance. Anyhow you want to do it, that works for you. But for you to take it, you have to take at least 2 months. So say I want to take some time off and she wants to take some time off, and to take 2 months and then she takes the remaining 12 months to make 14 months. So you can't take less than 2 months, and then during this process the government pays you a percentage of your salary. Fun fact, even if you're not working before your delivery, but you worked 1 year before your delivery,
Mm-hmm.
you're also eligible for it. So let's say you were working in January and then you stopped working, then the next year, January, you now give birth. Because you worked in the previous year, January, which is within 12 months,
Yeah.
you can also file for it.
Yeah, I think this was our case. This was
Yeah,
our story
yeah,
because I had gotten like a part-time job, and almost after my contract was over, I took in I
yeah.
I was pregnant, and then I was eligible, and yeah,
So you
I was
basically
able to.
send all your documents, and
Yeah.
then they check how much you're earning, and then they can, I think it's 7% of. So the minimum is 300 euros, regardless
Mm,
of how much income you had. The maximum is around 1.8 or thereabouts. So you get paid based on your income,
yeah,
and
salary.
then you earn that for the next 12 months or 14 months and without working. So yeah, then the third birth certificate they give you is for your insurance. If you maybe you're getting paid by your insurance, you can send it to them. Then if you want to keep the child's birth certificates, they have to now pay. So the ones they give you, the three I mentioned, they give you for free, and it's not for you. It's not for keeps. It's for the different people we mentioned. But if you
Different
want to keep,
purposes.
if you want to keep, then you can now pay for it. So you can pay. So there are three different birth certificates: the German one, the international one that has different languages you want to use outside Germany, and then the third one is just the certificates of birth. Whatever of them is 12 euros. So if you want all three, that's 36 euros. So you pay that 36 euros and then they give you the three free ones and then these three ones that you can then keep for yourself and use for other processes.
Disclaimer, guys, this is based on our experience. So if we're saying you can, we're not sure, but
Yeah.
this was something we did. This was the process we went through. Right. So disclaimer.
Okay. What's the next point?
What's the next point?
Circumcision.
Ooh, good point. So, guys, the next point we were not aware. I have to be so dramatic about this. So, we gave birth to a boy,
Yeah.
right? And from our home country, it's just typical that you circumcise, or I think based on our religion,
Yeah, religion and where we are from,
yeah,
culture. Yeah.
religion, culture, where we're from, right? You have to circumcise the boy child. And I mean, we just felt like, okay, we've given birth to our son. Okay, yeah,
Mm,
circumcise him now. But that was not the case.
yeah.
So I think circumcision here is optional. Like it's something that they don't do, right? And we had to look for someone that does it. And when I mean look for, I mean the person was a doctor,
Yeah.
but it's something that is not even done at the hospital,
Yeah.
right?
So it's tricky because the doctors do it in the hospital, but they don't do it like their normal service.
Exactly.
So if you go to
Yes.
their website, you won't see
You won't see it.
circumcision.
Yeah, you won't see that service there. And fun fact, we actually did it on a weekend. Like
Yeah.
it felt like when someone was going to do something bad.
Yeah, because I remember the process. Like you send the secretary a WhatsApp message. Oh, one second, and then the secretary sends you the doctor's number, and then you chat directly with the doctor. So it
It was
was
weird.
weird. Yeah, but yeah,
But yeah, circumcising, we were not aware of that. And yeah, we eventually got the doctor. And guys, the money, the amount,
I was about to say that.
the
Yeah,
amount is so like is ridiculous. The amount wants to make me cut my tongue. But anyways, the amount is ridiculously expensive. It's so expensive. And yeah, we eventually did it. I think
mm.
we circumcised our baby boy when he was about was it 3 weeks?
Yes, 3 weeks,
Yeah,
three
three
weeks.
weeks
Yeah,
ish. And thankfully we're able to do it way earlier.
yeah,
Right. And
yeah.
yeah, I think that
And
was
and, and,
pretty
and the reason why it's expensive is because it's not covered by your insurance,
exactly
so you pay out of
yes.
pocket
Yeah,
cash.
yeah. So everything about giving birth in Germany is pretty much covered by your insurance. But circumcising your son, it wasn't covered for us. It wasn't covered, so
Yeah,
we had to pay out of pocket.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because our boy had to get his stuff cut. Okay.
God, please.
Okay, okay. So I think the next 2 points that we have are specific to our Nigerian audience because this concerns the Nigerian and identification number and passports. But we didn't know that for his NIN application, NIN is your national identification number, done by NIMSI. We could do that without taking him for the appointment. Now, for those that are in Berlin, the office is in Spandau, and if you stay in Berlin, you know how far that place is. So I can remember that day was stressful. having to take him all the way there. Then he was still very young when we did
Mm-hmm.
the application. And the one went there, the woman was like, "Oh, are you serious? Is it this small? Ah, you didn't need to bring him here now. All we need is the information and then just send it to my WhatsApp." But we're already there. But yeah, so if you just give birth and you want to process your child's NIN, you can do that without taking the child there. You and your husband can just go for the appointments, everything
I
you
think
need.
one person can just even
Yeah, yeah,
go.
yeah, you submit, you take your birth certificates, and when you chat with the woman, she will tell you all the things you need to bring, and you go there and do it. Ours took like a week from when we went to the woman to get the number. So you just get the number, and then you can use the number for any application you want to do. So yeah. The next thing we didn't know was how stressful it was to apply for your Nigerian passports, guys. So for I mean the process is you after you get your NIN, then you can apply for your international passport, your Nigerian international passport using your NIN. You apply online and then you obviously pay the fee and then you specify what kind of document you want. 32 pages. I think for infants it has to be 32 pages, and their reason is because their face changes frequently. You can't do 10 years for them. You can only do 5 years, and then you select the date for your appointment. So um, we picked the time, we picked the dates, and the time was I remember it was 12 noon,
Mm-hmm.
and thinking like proper Germans that we are not, we went for the appointment by 12. Thinking, okay, in Germany, when you go for your appointment, you see your ID, your number, whatever on the screen, and then you go in for your appointment, and
Fun
then
fact, there was actually a
that
screen
wasn't
there.
working. That wasn't working. So I mean, that day we prepared the baby, we took our bath, prepared, we went out, and we got there. I remember there was first an episode with our phone. Don't enter with your phone. Oh, switch off your phone. Drop it here. And then we entered, and then we were thinking, okay, we see like 3, 4 people. We saw the whole Nigeria in Berlin. It was literally full. And I think that day, what was really annoying was no one told us the process. Like no one came to meet us to say, okay, what do you want to do? Or we didn't see any direction anywhere.
Yeah.
You just see people hustling.
Yeah, I think a
And
tip is like once you get there, just ask what next, what am I to do? Because I think when we came, we just sat down, right?
yeah, yeah, sat
And
down,
we just felt like okay, we're going to be attended to. But when we got there, we sat down and we're like, okay, I
yeah,
just told my husband, I think we need to go and
yeah.
ask that woman something.
So tip number one, if you have an appointment, regardless of the time you select online, go by 8.
Yeah, go
Go
very
before the
early.
open, because even when you go before the open, you meet a queue and you see a list. So go
I
very
mean,
early.
it might not happen that way though.
Yeah, but I'm sure it will. So go very early, maybe 8, 9, forget the time. When you go there, no one cares about the time you selected online. Try to ask questions like she said. Take
Mhm.
your 20 euros admin fee. Or if you don't have cash, you can take your Giro card. That can work as well. And then yeah, it was also very stressful getting him to focus because I remember they had to
Oh my
use
god, we're saying,
yeah,
hey Baba,
yeah.
hey my
They had
love.
to act
Oh god.
drama just to make him look at the camera, and then we went there 11 ish. We left there past 6. Yeah, it was a stressful day. So, but yeah, I hope that with our experience, you don't get to experience the same thing. So the next thing that we didn't know as it concerns babies and newborns is even after getting the voucher for the school, you still need to pay some fees. Now, let me give some context into that. For children born here in Berlin, Germany, basically, when they are 1, they start the kita, which is kindergarten, compulsorily, by the way. And they have to do that till they are 6 or so before they can start primary school and then secondary and the rest. So it's free,
They say it's free.
it's free, yeah.
Yeah.
So the admission to the kita is free. So for that, you have to get a voucher. So you go online, apply for the voucher, basically saying, I want to enroll my child when my child is 1, and I want them to hold my child for. You have 2 options, either 5 to 7 hours, which is the normal one. But if you say hold my child for 7 to 9 hours, you have to prove that both of you are busy. So maybe both of you are working or both of you are not always at home, then you have to prove. But for the first voucher type, you don't need to prove anything. That's the default. And so they get this voucher from the government, from the youth, from the citizens office, and then use that to apply. And so we got that. And we went to the school and gave them all the documents. And then I remember the lady saying that there are some fees that we need to pay.
Pay, yeah.
I was like, okay, what kind of fees? She said we have to pay for the lunch, pay for the. She
I
just
think
mentioned
snacks.
some
You have to
things.
pay for
Yeah,
snacks.
lunch
You have to pay
time.
for. Okay, I think we have to pay for breakfast too.
Yes, you have to pay for breakfast, you have to
Yeah,
pay for lunch, and pay for snacks. I was on there, but we have voucher. So I think their own explanation is that the voucher you're getting is more like maybe it's
it's
tuition
subsidy.
subsidy kind of,
Yeah.
but then obviously you have to pay for the other things. So
Mm.
now we're having to, even with the voucher, having to even pay
Pay
some
some
extra money.
fees. Yeah.
He hasn't started school yet, so another thing is try to get it very early because I think it's very competitive to get one.
Mm.
Try to get it early
Yes, Baba.
and sign the contract so that when your child is one, your child starts school.
Mm. Yeah.
So yeah,
I think, well, that's pretty much it. Like, we can go on and on and on, guys, but there's so much to know about giving birth in Germany. And I hope that we've been able to pass out the right information and
yeah.
also give all the required information that you need,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yes, guys, it took a lot doing this video. As you can tell, baby boy is at the background and we need to attend to him right now. But I'm just sending, or we are just sending all our wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are just wishing you all the best. And yeah, for pregnant moms, we're praying that you you carry a bundle of joy with no hassle. And if you're a mom in the waiting, we're praying using ourself as a point of contact that you carry your bundle of joy as well.
Amen.
Yes, guys, we've come to the end of this video. Guys, I kid you not, there has been like one, two, three, like several takes of this video in different on different days, actually.
Different
Yeah,
weeks.
different weeks. Like, it's
But
just
yeah,
crazy. But anyways, yeah, if you have any questions,
yeah.
please let's continue this conversation in the comment section. And if if you can leave your comments here, I have my Instagram. Please feel free to reach out or send me an email. And thank you so much to my
They can
lovely
also reach out to me now. Like,
um
why you to me? You can also reach out to me on my Instagram as well. My Instagram is open. So reach out to me if
okay.
you have questions. The fathers, if
Oh,
you have
actually, yeah.
exactly the fathers, if you have questions, reach out to me.
Yeah,
Maybe you can put my Instagram, whatever,
I'll
in the
think about
description.
it. Anyways, thank you to my lovely husband for joining once again. It's always a pleasure having you
Until
here.
you pay.
It's always a pleasure having you here. And to our lovely son in the background, thank you too for featuring in our video. I really don't know how this video is going to turn out. But anyways, until next time, guys.
Bye
Bye
for
for now.
now.